Hi friends! Today we're going to do a spooky ghost lesson focusing on positive and negative space, and we're going to use some chalk. I'm going to teach you a new technique on how to use some white chalk. We're going to make a ghost portrait. So if you were a ghost and you were getting your picture taken at school, this is how that picture might look. Say cheese! So we're going to be doing this today. It's very simple, very quick and easy. We have a few materials that we need. We will need a black background, a white scrap piece of paper. You will also need scissors, a pencil, and a white piece of chalk. This is just teacher chalk that I use on the chalkboard. It's no fancy paper chalk. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our scrap piece of paper, and using our pencil, we are going to draw the outline of that ghost's head. So if that ghost were to sit there and say cheese for its school picture day, we're going to draw that ghost's head, just a really tall rainbow line. See that? After that, I want you to give that ghost its facial features. Mine's just going to be a spooky ghost. There are creative ways that you can approach this if you want to add a little bit more detail and have a little bit more fun with that ghost face. This one right here is a happy ghost on picture day. So that's up to you. You can be more creative with this lesson if you choose. I'm just going to stick with the very basic, very simple spooky ghost face. The next step is to cut this ghost out. So grab your scissors. We're going to cut it out. And here is the curveball that I'm throwing you. Most of the time when we cut out an object from our paper, the first thing you want to do is throw away this piece right here. We're not going to throw that away. We're going to throw away our ghost. I know, it doesn't make sense, right? But it will. But we're going to hang on to this for just a second because we will be using a couple of pieces of that ghost, and then we're going to throw them away. We are using this background piece. This is called negative space. If you look at my Cubs hat, do you see the C? That logo is the positive space of this design. Everything behind it, the blue, is the negative space. Just like my shirt that our wonderful second grade teacher, Mrs. McCoy, made for me. The Lost Creek Lions is the positive space, but everything behind it, see this wonderful shape that this R is making behind it, that white? That's the negative space. So we're using this negative space in order to acquire the image of the ghost. So we're going to place the negative space on our black background, grab our white chalk, and we are going to use our fingers to do a nice chalk rubbing. We're going to take our chalk, going to add some white to that white background. I'm not drawing on the black, I'm drawing on the white. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to slide that chalk onto the black background. I add more to the white. I accidentally drew on it right there when I was, that's okay then. Add more to the white, slide it off. We're gonna go all the way around. Adding chalk to the white, using your finger to slide it off. Your non-dominant hand is very important right now because this template's going to try to slide and move on you, but you have to make sure that it doesn't do that. Sliding that chalk into the background with our fingers, and what's happening is you're using this negative space as a stencil. So when you remove your negative space, you should have the outline of a ghost. Very spooky outline. The next thing that you need to add are some facial features. So I'm going back to my ghost, the positive space that I cut out earlier. I'm going to cut out one of its eyes. And again, you can spend more time with this. You can be creative. You can have fun with these facial features. I'm keeping it simple and quick just so you can get to work. Cutting out that ghost's eye, and I want you to think about this. If I were to place the ghost's head right here, and if I were to take my chalk and repeat the same process that I did, add white to that template, push that white in, what color would my ghost's eye be? It would be white, wouldn't it? And do we want our ghost to have a white eye? No, I don't. I want my ghost to have a black spooky eye like it's got a hole in a sheet. If you were to put a sheet over the top of your head and dress as a ghost, you need to cut holes in it so you can see. We're going with the traditional ghost here. So I'm going to do the opposite and use the positive space. So I'm placing my positive space on the ghost head, adding chalk, sliding it into that background like this, and make sure this doesn't move. This is the tricky part. You have to move your fingers around so that little piece doesn't move. And then when you remove that positive space, you have created a nice eye for your ghost. So I'm going to repeat it on the other side to give my ghost 2 eyes. Sliding that chalk into that black background. I remove it. Boom, 2 eyes. I'm going to just stick with the spooky open mouth woo, for my ghost. This. And there's your ghost face. The last thing I want you to do is I want you to add something to the background. This might look completed, but we're going to make a spooky aura. Do you know what an aura is? It's like a presence. So we want a spooky presence for our ghost. We're going to take a piece of our ghost. Remember, this is trash. Tear off a nice, natural torn edge. We're going to take this edge, place it in the background, add just a little bit of chalk to it, slide that chalk off. See that nice ghostly aura line that we just made? And we're going to repeat this. Repeat it until you're happy with it. The more of these lines that you put on the background, the spookier your ghost is going to look. You can overlap. And remember, we're in the background. We're going behind our ghost. Our ghost is our foreground. These spooky lines are the background, this ghostly aura. Some people believe that people present a color as an aura. So if you had an aura, what color would your aura be? What do you think? What would mine be? Let me know. We're going to keep finishing our background for our ghost. And there you have it. Spooky, ghostly picture. A lot of times I like to take my fingers and just blend that background in like this, just to make it permanent. It makes it a little bit more spooky.